How many of you remember additional judge Jagmohan Lal Sinha? In 1975, he set aside the election of Indira Gandhi in the case State of Uttar Pradesh versus Raj Narayan. And for that judgment, he was hounded in Uttar Pradesh for the next 15 years until Dr. Subramanian Swamy became the law minister and he had him transferred to Madhya Pradesh. Go check your records, viewers, if you don't believe what I'm saying. This is what happens to honest judges. Well, there's a refreshing judgment that has come a few months ago, but it's almost passed unnoticed, and we are going to talk to you about it. There's a whole bunch of references on this one, how this judge acted fearlessly and honestly. So this is a small slide deck. It also exposes various NGOs who are working from inside India as well as outside, trying to subvert justice in India. One of them, Indian American Muslim Council, about which I've been talking about for a long time, this alphabet soup organization. Anyway, the Collegium Clique is now beginning to find a lot of heat from the viewers because social media is laying bare all their connections inside. This guy's nephew, that guy's uncle, this guy's brother, that guy's wife. All sorts of things are now coming out. I think this Collegium Clique is not going to last for very long because today, once you become a judge in any high court, you can pretty much map from that point forward until your retirement as to how far you're going to go up in the ladder of justices. So this has become collegium. This has become a joke because it's completely seniority driven. So because it is completely seniority driven, people are beginning to game it from the other side. The shining example is Mr. D.Y. Chandrachud. Anyway, that was discussed in detail by Sri R.V.S. Mani in one of my hangouts, and you go back and see he did not mention the name because at that time Chandrachud was not the Chief Justice yet, but he had said that this is how this guy rose so quickly. Anyway, so go back and take a look at that. You'll understand how this game is being played and being manipulated by many left liberals and loonies and the M's and the C's, all the people. You understand where I'm coming from. Okay, I have a small slide deck to tell you about this case. Do please like this video, and if you have not already subscribed to our channel, do subscribe to our channel. Here we go. When Supreme Court, High Court turn a blind eye, trial judge Shatters' sinister Nexus. A historic judgment was delivered by an NIA Court on Jan 3rd, 2025. What happened? Special NIA Judge Vivekanand Sharan Tripathi delivered a landmark judgment convicting 28 Muslim individuals for the brutal murder of Chandan Gupta, which occurred during a Tiranga Yatra on Republic Day, January 26, 2018. All 28 convicts were sentenced to life imprisonment and fined rupees 80,000 each, while 2 other accused were acquitted by the court due to the benefit of doubt. The murder took place amid a VHP-ABVP-led nationalist rally through a Muslim-majority area in Kasganj, Uttar Pradesh. Initially in Kasganj, the case moved to ETA, transferred to Lucknow NIA Court due to pressure on the witnesses and also on the victim's family. Judge Tripathi rebuked the NGO lawyer Nexus. In his ruling, he raised serious concerns about national and international NGOs allegedly defending anti-national elements, as well as a nexus of elite lawyers and terror sympathizers. The judge directed that copies of order be sent to the Union Home Ministry and the Bar Council of India and called for a thorough investigation into the funding sources of the named NGOs as well as transparency in the remuneration and fee structures of lawyers involved in such cases. Which were the NGOs he named in the judgment? Citizens for Justice and Peace out of Mumbai, People's Union for Civil Liberties out of Delhi, Rihai Manch, Alliance for Justice and Accountability from New York, Indian American Muslim Council from Washington, D.C., South Asia Solidarity Group in London, Legal Cell of Jamiat Ulema Hind. Now, this is not all. If you take a look at what has been happening in the Rohingya case, I hope that Justice Tripathi survives and thrives in this system and that this Collegium Clique comes down to a stop as quickly as possible. These guys have had an easy ride, and I think we are sick and tired of this kind of judgment being delivered. Let's wait and see how that goes. The Rohingya deportation case filed by advocate Ashwini Upadhyay seeking the removal of illegal Rohingya intruders is still pending before the Supreme Court. The petitioners, Muhammad Salimullah and Muhammad Shakir, are represented by a team of prominent lawyers, including Dr. Rajiv Dhawan, Prashant Bhushan, Dr. Ashwini Kumar, Colin Gonzalez, the late Fali Nariman, and Kapil Sibal. In April 2021, the Supreme Court issued an interim order allowing the deportation of Rohingyas detained in Jammu, subject to legal procedures, noting that India is not bound by the 1951 Refugee Convention. The petition remains pending as of May 2025. Ashwini Upadhyay alleged mass conversions using force, fraud, and inducement, prompting the Supreme Court to observe in November 2022 that forced conversions may pose a serious threat to national security and fundamental rights under Articles 14, 21, and 25. Top 10 lawyers, including senior advocate Dushyant Dave, opposed Upadhyay, forcing him to withdraw an affidavit containing allegedly communal content. As of May 2025, the Supreme Court is actively hearing petitions related to forced religious conversions and the validity of anti-conversion laws enacted by various states. So this is about conversion. The one before that is Rohingyas illegals. Now you have the Places of Worship Act. Advocate Upadhyay filed a challenge to sections that freeze the religious status of places as of August 15, 1947, arguing that they deny Hindus and others the rights to restore historical places of worship. 22 top lawyers, including MPs and former ministers of law, home, foreign, and education, opposed the petition. Supreme Court allowed multiple interventions, deferred the hearings to May 2025, and restricted the filing of new petitions, permitting only interventions. Then you have this issue of Rohingya children going to school. The petitioner, in this case, NGO social jurist, demanded that the government be ordered to allow Rohingya children admission into public schools. In October 2024, the Delhi High Court rejected the petition, ruling that Rohingyas are illegal entrants and pose a security risk. On February 17, 2025, the Supreme Court directed Rohingya parents to apply to schools, stating that if denied, despite eligibility, they could approach the High Court again, and clarified that no circular prohibits the admission of refugee children. Where is the accountability for all these guys? Judge Tripathi and activists like Upadhyay demand the disclosure of lawyers' fees and income tax records, the mandating of banking transactions for legal fees, and affidavits from senior lawyers defending controversial clients to reveal their fee sources. Well, you saw what happened in that case of one High Court judge, right? They found crores and crores of money. Did anything happen? Did anything happen? Is transfer enough? How did he get that money? Who paid him and for what? Look, Supreme Court is just mum about this thing. I just don't understand. Delhi High Court and Supreme Court are almost like, cousins. So they look at it so closely, but they won't look at it. In fact, they have not looked at many cases that should have been heard decades ago. This is the Supreme Court for you. It's just, I don't know what to say. They also call for investigation into foreign funding of NGOs, particularly those supporting terror-linked or illegal immigration-related cases. Finally, this NIA Court verdict in the Kasganj case and the Supreme Court cases on conversion, illegal immigration, and worship sites reflect deep fault lines. That is exactly right. There are deep fault lines in the way justice is being given. Look, justice should not only be fair, but appear to be fair. Tell me which one of the dubious judgments that have come down from various courts appeared to be fair. 2G, that dollar AINI, rascal, scoundrel, thug. What kind of a judgment did he deliver? He was supposed to find what was the amount of guilt of each of the perpetrators, and he says nobody is guilty. And everybody laps it up. I tell you, these are all things that are needed, very, very badly needed. India needs to have a much more robust judicial system. I think the time for Collegium to go is here and now. These are all very, very cliques, and they need to really be disbanded, and the government needs to really start taking a hard look and appointing honest, fair, corruption-free judges so that justice doesn't suffer as a result of all the different shenanigans that these judges seem to be doing. I'm sure there are many honest judges also. I don't want to tar everyone at the same brush. At the same time, there lips are sealed, and unfortunately, that is the problem. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.